Pest and pest management in medicinal plants. Introduction: an undesired plant or animal species is termed as a pest, and chemicals obtained from synthetic and natural sources used against these pests in small concentrations are pesticide. Types of pests. Medicinal plants are infested by fungi, viruses, weeds, insects, and some non-insect pests like rodents. Some examples of pests are discussed below. 1. Fungi. The examples of different types of fungi attacking medicinal plants are: 1. A Scorchita atropae forms grayish, white irregular spots, which further cause leaf necrosis. 2. Cercospora atropae causes leaf spot in which round to angular brown spots having chestnut-colored margins are formed on both sides of the leaves. 3. Phytophthora nicotianae causes Phytophthora root rot, which is a dreadful disease occurring in belladonna and other plants. In this disease, dropping of young leaves and branches, yellowing of older leaves, and drying of whole apical portion occurs. 4. Fusarium solanii and Pythium butleri together causes damping off in young seedlings. They mainly affect the isolated branches of the roots of older plants. 2. Viruses. The examples of different types of viruses attacking medicinal plants are: 1. Tobacco mosaic virus, cucumber mosaic virus, and tobacco ring spot virus attack digitalis, and a strain of cucumber mosaic virus attack hyoscyamus. These viruses cause necrosis of leaves, petioles, and stem of different plants belonging to family Solanaceae. 2. Viruses cause disease symptoms on Rauwolfia, tobacco, datura, vinca, and eucalyptus. 3. Yellow vein mosaic, graft transmissible virus, distortion mosaic, rugose leaf curl, and ruga tabaci are other viruses attacking the medicinal plants. 3. Insects. Total number of insect species in the world is larger than the total number of species of all other life forms. Plants should be provided protection against insects which cause a drastic problem. The examples of different types of insects attacking medicinal plants are: 1. Diaphania nilgirica, Endomia cretaceous, Plantia viridicolis, and various beetles attack Rauwolfia. 2. Papilio machaung and Hyadophis coriandri attack dill. 3. Gonocephalum species and Agrotis flammatra cause loss of belladonna leaves. 4. Caterpillar, Lepidopteris larvae, cutworms, termites, weevil, Hessian fly, aphids, pirilla, grass hoppers, locusts, spiders, ticks, mites, etc. are other insects damaging the plants. 4. Weeds. These undesired plants are dreadful pests because the loss caused by them is much more than the combined loss caused by other pests and diseases. If weeds are not controlled, problems like loss of nutrients, water, light and space, increase in labor and equipment cost, low product quality, problems in marketability, enhanced chances of attacks by bacteria, fungi, viruses, and insects arises. The examples of different types of weeds which grow along with the plants and attack them are: 1. Some allergy-causing weeds, e.g., ragweed, Mexican tea, yellow dog, Parthenium, etc., cause hay fever. 2. Corn cockle contains cyanophosphodglycosides and the seeds of this plant have fatal effects. 3. Poison ivy, western poison oak, varnish tree, poison sumac, etc., cause dermatitis. 4. Datura and monospermous species, etc., are poisonous plants which grow as weeds. 5. Non-insect pests. These pests are of two types. 1. Vertebrates, rats, monkeys, birds, rabbits, hares, squirrels, antelopes, deer, pigs, etc. 2. Invertebrates, nematodes, crabs, snails, mites, and symphalids. The rodents with their sharp and gnawing incisor teeth cause a huge spoilage to stored crude drugs. Their fecal matter also contaminates the crude drugs extensively. Pest management. Control or management of an undesired animal or plant species is termed as pest management. Given below are the various methods of pest management. 1. Mechanical methods. 2. Agricultural methods. 3. Biological methods. 4. Chemical methods. 5. Environmental methods or integrated pest management program. 6. Natural pest control agents. And 7. Biopesticides, bioinsecticides. Mechanical methods. Mechanical methods collect and destroy pests using different devices. Hand-picking, pruning, burning, and trapping of pests are some of the simple mechanical methods by which eggs, larvae, pupae, and adults of insects are collected and destroyed suitably. Concrete warehouses having metal reinforcement corners on window frames are prepared for protection against rodents, like rats. Devices for trapping rats and mouse can also be used. Flavored attractants, prepared by mixing rose oil, anise oil, etc., with sawdust, are placed in funnel-shaped containers for trapping flying insects, which easily enter the trap but could not come out. Agricultural methods. Agricultural methods involve advanced techniques of plant breeding, which produce pest-resistant species by genetic manipulations. Hybrid varieties resistant to fungal and bacterial attack have also been produced by this technique. Systemic insecticides are also applied, which get absorbed through the roots and reach the leaves to distaste the foliage portion for insects. Biological methods. Biological methods involve combating the pests, insects especially, with other living organisms, often parasites. If properly designed, this pest control method proves to be effective, safe, and economic. Some female insects produce and release sex pheromones, a chemical substance which induces sexual response in male insects. For example, 7,8-epoxy-2-methyloctadecane from gypsy moth can be used for controlling pests. Chemical methods. Chemical methods involve controlling pests by using chemical pesticide, e.g., insecticides, fungicides, herbicides, and rodenticides. The chemical pesticide are sub-categorized into 1. Rodenticides, warfarin, strychnine, arsenic trioxide, thallium sulfate, red squill, etc. 2. Insecticides, DDT, gamexin, methoxychlor, parathion, malathion, sodium arsenate, pyrethroids, rotinoids, carbamates, etc. 3. Acaricides, miticides, tetraderphane, chlorobenzylate, etc. 4. Fungicides, Bordeaux mixture, chlorophenols, antibiotics, quaternary ammonium compounds, etc. 5. Herbicides, 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, calcium arsenate, sulfuric acid, etc. Environmental methods or integrated pest management program. Environmental methods are more effective in controlling pests. By using the multi-faceted control procedures selectively and carefully, resistance development, effects on non-target organisms, and environmental damage can be reduced. This technique of integrated control demands thorough knowledge of ecological principles and of the life history and population dynamics of pests. Natural pest control agents. 1. Leaf tobacco. The leaves of Nicotiana tabacum gives tobacco, which contains nicotine, a pyridine alkaloid, pale yellow-colored liquid, acrid burning in taste, having odor of pyridine, oily in nature. Highly hygroscopic, turns brown when exposed to air or light, volatile with steam, and poisonous being a local irritant and paralyzant. 2. Rionia. The roots and stems of Rionia speciosa contain 0.16 to 0.2% of insecticidal alkaloids. Rionadine, the chief alkaloid, is a complex ester having 1-pyrrole, carboxylic acid. This plant is used for controlling various Lepidopterous larvae which attack fruits. Biopesticides, bioinsecticides. Biopesticides are naturally occurring substances of living organisms, natural enemies. Their products, microbial products and phytochemicals, or by-products, semiochemicals, that can control pest by non-toxic mechanisms. They cover a wide range of microbial pesticide and biochemicals obtained from microorganisms and natural sources. Traditionally, biopesticides have been associated with the biological control and, by implication, the manipulation of living organisms. Mechanism of action. Biopesticides act by any of the following mechanisms. 1. Antibiosis. This mechanism occurs when biopesticides interact with other microorganisms under the influence of specific microbial metabolite, volatile compounds, lytic enzymes, or other toxic substances. The microorganisms produce antibiotics, bacteriocin, volatile compounds, and metabolites. 2. Competition. In this mechanism, biopesticides aggressively compete to grow rapidly and colonize substrate to exclude pathogens. 3. Hyperparasitism. This mechanism is the lysis of the death by other microorganisms or direct parasitism. For example, T. lignorum parasitize the hyphae of R. solanii, and therefore soil inoculation with Trichoderma spores control damping of disease in citrus seedlings. 4. Synergism. This mechanism is the ability of some bioagents to combine actions of hydrolytic enzymes and antibiotic secondary metabolites. For example, the effectiveness of Trichoderma spp. as a biocontrol agent and its fitness in the environment is the result of synergistic effects of antimicrobial compounds, like pyrones, coumarins, etc. Applications. Pests can be effectively controlled by selecting suitable application techniques, methods and an appropriate time and/or frequency of biopesticides application. Given below are some methods of biopesticides applications. 1. Seed treatment. This means application of biopesticides on seeds. This method is the most effective. Powder formulations are applied on seeds by tumbling them with the product designed to adhere to the seeds. 2. Foliar application. This means application of biopesticides on surface of leaves in the form of sprays. For example, application of B. subtilis to bean leaves reduce the occurrence of bean rust caused by Uromyce sphaseoli. 3. Seedling dipping. In this method, roots of the seedlings are dipped in biopesticide suspensions for a few minutes or hours before transplanting. For example, Trichoderma spp. are applied in this way. Advantages. 1. Biopesticides are inherently less harmful or toxic and cause less environmental load or pollution. 2. They are designed for a specific pest or a few target pests as opposed to chemical having a broad spectrum of activity. 3. Cost of their development is significantly lower than those of synthetic chemical pesticide. 4. Their nature of control is preventive, not curative, and their effects on flower is less. Disadvantages. 1. Due to their high specificity, it is necessary to identify the exact target pest or pathogen. 2. Due to their slow speed of action, they are often unsuitable if there is an immediate pest outbreak that becomes a threat to crops. 3. They are not suitable for a stand-alone treatment and should have to be with a compatible method for high efficacy. 4. Living organisms evolve and increase their resistance to biological, chemical, physical and any other form of control.